Hobbida hoobida everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to get better at looping in Dead by Daylight.
No, why?
So first, I want to talk to you about positioning. Positioning in the game is very, very key. You don't have to have any perks to be able to loop someone very well. Just like how I'm doing right here. I'm positioning myself to where either way the killer goes, I can loop around the pallet. Unfortunately, she had her power to where she can hit me from farther than what her basic attack would hit me, but you get my point. Positioning in the game is key, and it is arguably more important than perks. Like, perks will help you, but you still have to have that initial, what's the word I'm looking for? Skill, I guess, initial skill to be able to capitalize on the perks that you actually use. Another thing is watching where the killer's red stain is. That is a big indicator of which way that they are looking, and that will be able to tell you, okay, the killer's looking like say left, so I should probably loop around right because they can't see you, but you can still see them because of the red stain. Like how you see right here. Even if there was a giant wall in between us right here, I could still see her red stain through the fence. I don't know why she kept vomiting on me instead of just trying to down me, but I'll take it. And some you get punished like that. And just really quick, going back to positioning, you can sit there and position yourself like at the very back end of a loop and then run around it completely to save a pallet. Whenever you approach a pallet, never ever 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 instantly throw the pallet unless you are dealing with a killer like Deathslinger or Huntress, where at Deathslinger he can pull you in, but if you prematurely throw the pallet, he can't hit you. Or like Huntress, you can sit there prematurely throw the pallet and make it to where they can't mind game you with the hatchet. Or if you position yourself with enough length to make it to where you know you can get at least 2 loops on them, you can run around whatever safe loop you have and then throw the pallet before she rounds the corner to be able to hit you with the hatchet. There's different little things you'll pick up as you play based on the killers you play and the people you play with, how skilled everyone is against those killers, and how much knowledge you have of the killers. Knowledge of the killers is almost like having a fifth perk. Knowledge in this game is definitely power.
I would get the hell out of here.
And speaking of perks, I suppose it's time we actually started talking about them. So, for my first perk I want to talk about, I have Streetwise. And I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen right now. Streetwise is a perk that says it reduces the consumption rate of item charge by 25% for you and your allies within an 8-meter range. Once out of range, it lasts for 15 seconds. But this is a very underused perk just because it makes it to where you can milk your flashlight for a lot longer than what you should be able to. Therefore, milking the loops that you've already positioned yourself to win, and also letting you blind the killer more, getting you more points, meaning getting you more blood points and putting you higher up in the list in the end. Overall, just a very underused perk specifically for people who like running the killer with flashlights. It's a very underappreciated perk that definitely deserves some more love. Next, I would like to talk about Sprint Burst, and I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen. Sprint Burst is one of the handful of exhaustion perks that, in my opinion, is the best. It reads as when you start to run, you break into a sprint at 150% of your normal running speed at a maximum of 3 seconds, and it causes the exhausted status effect for 40 seconds. So what this means is the entire time you are in the match, assuming you're not exhausted, if you start to run, your sprint burst will activate,
Oh, am I gonna
meaning
make it
you'll
though?
jolt forward
I was
by
absolutely through that window, but
150%
whatever,
for up to
game.
3 seconds. So this means whenever a killer is trying to sneak up on
I'm
you
trying
or
to lure
thinks
her
they're
as
going to
far
hit you
away as
off of a
possible from the other
generator,
machine.
if you time it correctly, you can start your
Oh,
sprint
there's not a
burst
pallet
right
here.
at
Your
the
boy's
moment
going
they
down.
think it's safe to hit you,
David,
and
bruh.
then they'll swing into air and you'll be way off in the distance, and they'll still be recovering from their missed swing. So overall, it'll benefit you the most to time this right. And lastly, out of my 3 perks that I have here to loop, the last perk I have that I use is Decisive Strike.
Shut up.
Throwing it up on
We
screen.
running this.
Decisive Strike is that type of perk you use whenever you have been caught by the killer, you're up on the hook, and then somebody yanks you off. It makes it to where the killer can't just automatically down you and then throw you back on the hook. If they pick you back up in a matter that Decisive Strike is active, you'll get a skill check, which if you successfully
This
hit it,
loop,
you
baby.
will then get pulled off of the killer and you'll stun the
Wait.
killer, giving you time to run
I
away.
was wondering, like you kept running so fast,
And
you was gonna be like
it's
shooting
basically
Oh, I'm dead.
used for in case the killer mind games you successfully or you mess up. It
Okay,
basically gives you a second chance whenever they more than likely
I'm going to
inevitably target
take the
you the
knock on it
second
out.
you get off the hook.
Oh, baby! And we got the blind!
So y'all, I hope this video helped whenever you're trying to
Oh, I'm so
hook
going
up
down.
on positioning
There's no
and
way.
trying to run those
There's no
killers. Would really
Okay,
appreciate
there it
any
is.
constructive criticism
I
you could
finally
give
went
me.
down.
I like doing these short little videos. Let me know in the comments section
After
if
like
you would like to
3
see
or
more in the
4
future.
blinds
And
death
if this
machines
video
getting
helped
yanked
you,
off.
you know, of course, that's the whole point. Just to help y'all out.
Hey, you
And
outplayed yourself
I'll
there,
talk to
little
y'all later.
piggy. Went to market. E-I-E-I-O.
Dumb little hoe.
Yeah.